طيب, shall we open the questions for more questions? I have questions. Sorry? طيب خلاص, people are sleeping. We have some coffee outside in case someone would like to wake up. طيب, my question to Engineer Muhammad, you have mentioned a very interesting number, which is 7.3 megawatt annually per car as a consumption, expected consumption for electric vehicles. Once Muhammad. Okay. Anyone from the MEDC team? باشمهندس فاطمة الجرداني. ما موجودة كذا. Okay, no problem. طيب, in this case we'll skip the question to Mr. Muhammad. طيب, moving to مهندس عبد الله. You have presented a very interesting case about the building the wind farm here in Oman and taking the وصل. طيب, we'll continue with the question to Mr. Abdullah and then we'll come back to you. You mentioned about the design of the wind turbine and how this affected the power output. The question is, what are the key challenges in designing the wind farm in Oman? And how, we have listened to a very interesting presentation yesterday regarding IEEE solar farm. And they mentioned that they have got everything right, all the data correct, and then at the end of the day, one cloud, and then the complete scenario is a different story. So in the same case, how can we realize this to the wind farm, and have you faced such problems or not?
Actually, what I'm talking is like a case study. When we're talking about renewable resources, whether wind or solar, that resources has intermittent nature. And one of the challenges is that we got like a fluctuation in the output power. How to mitigate that is one of the challenge. The other challenge is in the design of the wind farm. There are different factors we have to take in consideration, different methodologies, different optimization methods, different even softwares. So taking in consideration these things while designing the wind farm is a complicated problem. However, there are some advanced software like WindSim software. I used it recently. It's including different factors and trying to get some realistic, what we call near or realistic scenario. So we can conclude that there are much technical aspects comparing to the financial aspects in designing the wind farm.
Great. I will come back to Bashmans Muhammad. We have a very interesting question. You have mentioned a very interesting figure as well, which is 7.3 megawatt annually as a consumption for one electrical vehicle. So, expecting the growth of demand on electrical vehicles, are we ready for that? And what exactly is the expected capacity of our network, our infrastructure, our distribution network?
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, right now there are actually a lot of meetings already done in the background, okay, to prepare the distribution network, to preparing the guidelines, to prepare all the infrastructure needed to occupy the big numbers or the future projects coming, future electrical vehicles. And we are expecting the numbers will be doubled in the coming few years. I would say that right now, with up to the number what we're expecting is coming is the distribution network is almost, they will not suffer any type of failures or something like that. They can withstand the incoming demand. But always we need to be prepared. We need to be making the correct regulation. The policies should be meeting what exactly the requirement. Alhamdulillah, in the recent years, I would say in the distribution network, the supply is very reliable and sustainable, and we are not seeing that much of interruption because of the low carbon technologies, and we hopefully will not see. And because one of the main reasons that the distribution companies actually is doing a lot of great work in the background.
Thank you so much. What is the current number of electrical vehicles as of now in Oman, if you may share this number with us?
Okay, so right now, it's not a very detailed and accurate number. We are talking about almost 100 cars right now existing. Not all of them even registered with the Oman nameplate, but we are expecting the number is increasing. These numbers actually we got it through direct contact with the ROP people, or with the ROP, with the electrical vehicle charger supplier here in Oman, and the number is actually increasing, and they are saying they have a promise of the new showrooms, the cars, for example, BMs, Mercedes, they are having the brands of electrical cars, they are coming also. So based from there, we will start gathering this information, and we are doing a lot of background work with the ABSRs, with the other distribution companies, so that we need a way so that we can understand and know how much the actual numbers and what's exactly the time of charging these cars. Because if you imagine that, for example, each car is consuming something around 11, let's say 10 to 11 kilowatt for each hour, and they are charging for almost like 6 to 8 hours per day, then imagine that the average peak for a normal residential house right now is the same number. So even your bill, it will be doubled. So even the consumption, it will be doubled. So a lot of things going back also need to be considered. Also, for example, for commercial charging, right now, Oman Oil and other pumping station, they are thinking to going right now. You can see at the pumping station, they will see a lot of DC charger, 100 and 360 kilowatt DC chargers, and even these new chargers need some type of clear regulation and infrastructure, how to be connected to the distribution network, because the demand will be very high for this one.
Thank you so much. I believe that was quite clear. Now we move to the regulator, since we have Mr. Ahmed, I know that this is not your area. You have presented a topic on standards and security, but regarding the regulation for EV, it was mentioned that it is coming by end of the year. You expect it to be end of the year, or it will be pushed a little bit?
Actually, according to the plan of the regulators, to our commitment also provided, the EV regulation will be issued by the end of the year.
تمام إن شاء الله.
Hopefully even before that.
إن شاء الله. تمام. One question for you: the outcome of your case study is that we need to retain the current standard.
Yeah, I mean that when our standards develop as deterministic standard, and we want to continue the same approach to maintain it, and then to also allow adoption of demand side response and new technologies, so to restore the supply as fast as possible without changing the deterministic approach.
Great.
Moving out.
Any points from the floor to Mr. Ahmed before we proceed to our next speaker? We have the regulator here with us. It's not easy to get one. يعني ما شاء الله, our friends in APSR, they don't show us easily every day for conferences and events. طيب تمام. We'll move to our following presenter, باشمهندس عيسى. باشمهندس عيسى, you presented a case on the on Al-Amrat complex. I have seen the picture, but I do have a question, please. In the pictures, we have seen the solar panels are clustered. There is no spaces, there is no gaps. And I was wondering regarding the shadow casting on the buildings. Normally, as far as I know, you take into consideration shadow casting from the building itself in case you have a barrier, in case you have AC units or any. So how this was made, and the roof was completely flat, or that is mainly a study without really working on the.
Actually, that study, it was done by Helixco software, and it was well designed actually. But here I show just the photo because it's not showing details. Actually, we make space between each two panels, and we try to avoid any shades between two panels, and even from the parapet itself. And we kept lines too for operation, and for the we have some equipment there in the ceiling, and in the roof itself we have ACs and other equipment And
So
we
that
kept,
it will be elevated system, or it will be
no, they are laid on
on the floor, on the roof itself.
instead of sensor.
Why I was asking, because actually I was discussing a project with one of our colleagues, and the premises is having capacity of around 8.7 megawatt, but because of mountains, as Oman, alhamdulillah, we are having a lot of mountains, and the nature of the building and how it was designed, the capacity which can be installed actually on the building is 1.7, not 8.7. So that's why I was asking you.
No, actually, only we utilize on the rooftop of the buildings.
That's
That's and only other cases that was expected, we kept as a scenario in case we are utilizing freeland. Yes. Freeland.
Yeah. Right. Coming back to Mr. Kiran, I have one question as well. You have mentioned that of course, the retrofit solution is quite good, but retrofit normally is linked to ISCO, linked to energy service companies who suggest and promote and offers a complete solution.
Yeah.
Are you trying to provide this as a concept? Are you in collaboration with such companies recently? Do you work mainly with ISCOs? Do you work as well outside?
No, at present, actually, we are working in private industries, mostly in industries. Say, for example, Oman LNG. We have started working since last 1 year or so.
No, what I meant is energy service companies.
No, presently no, not yet.
Yeah.
Only ROP, we are some discussion with ROP. Otherwise, presently actually working with private industries.
Right. Another point as well, you mentioned that you have the automated rack system.
Yes.
This is part of the rack design?
No, it's like
Or
it's
is
an
it
optional
services?
accessory. Yeah, it's a tool. It's a tool for, let's say you have some 25 air circuit breakers in your premises. So then you can buy one. It becomes a part of operator's tool.
Okay, come on. So, one more point as well for Mr. Muhammad. I would like to ask you about what are the energy efficiency initiatives at MEDC. I believe MEDC is trying to be a bit ahead in this side. You have a lot of initiatives you have done a lot. So if you can please speak to us more about the energy efficiency initiatives at MEDC, and what is the key initiatives you are trying to implement as well?
Okay. Right now we are focusing a lot of teaching the MEDC customers about the energy efficiency, the importance of the decrease their demand, they control their actual demand, energy demand in the house or in the location. We are also recommended. We've done a lot of recommendation. For example, at the beginning, at the start of the construction of the houses, for example, for the customers. For large customers, we are also sitting with them to explain and teach them the best way to minimize and optimize their actual demand. We are with the help with the ABSR, the other distribution companies. We are doing a lot of work also to make national initiatives in this area, and hopefully it will be announced soon, inshallah.
I believe I'm done for questions. If there's no more questions from the floor, we will conclude the session. I would like to thank you all for your presence here today. I would like to thank you for the presentations. I would like to thank as well our audience for being with us for the last